Hey, how's it going? Jason here, and in this episode we're going to be working on this San Jose Juniper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean out this tree, and what I mean by cleaning is that we're going to remove all the underbrush or the foliage that's sort of on the bottom of these branches. And we're going to do that for the whole tree. We're going to include the branches up here, and we'll remove all the ones that are going down. And the reason we do this is for two reasons. First, it's going to clean up the tree. It's going to make the pad and the layer stand out a little bit more, so you won't see brush or foliage that's underneath the branches right there. Second, when we clean out, it makes it easier to wire. So when I wire this whole thing, I don't have to worry about extra branches or extra needles, extra foliage that's getting in the way of the wire. All right, so I'm going to wire this tree really quick, and then at the end, I'll go over sort of what techniques I used in wiring, and then why I put branches in certain locations. Alright, so I just finished wiring the San Jose Juniper. Let's zoom in a bit and we can see how I arranged the branches. So one of the things I did was, when I was arranging these branches, I realized I didn't bring this branch far down enough. This one right here. This one right here. So what I did was I used guy wire right here, anchored it to a gin on the back here, and brought it down a little bit more. I was thinking about bringing it down a little bit more than this, but I think right there is exactly the level I like it. And then coming on this side, if I'm still looking at the bottom here, I really like this pad here because without it right there, I worked with what I had. If this was longer, maybe I would have made a little bit, longer here. But since I had a big empty space that was filling in this spot right here, I put that pad layer right there to fill in that gap. And then for the second layer right here, I brought the branches down, where I wired them down right here. And then this one right here, I wanted to bring down a little bit more too, more than I originally did with the wire. So I applied some guy wire there to the same gin, and I was able to bring that one down to exactly where I wanted it. When you're sort of wiring your tree, initially do all the wiring, set up your pads, but if you find out later that you need to adjust a branch, maybe bring it down a little bit more, you don't necessarily have to rewire the whole branch, at least on the main branch. Or if you didn't wire the main branch, what you can do is you can use the guy wire technique, and you can use that to bring that down just a little bit more if you need it. And so I continued I continued throughout the rest of the tree here. I wired all the branches so that on a 360 view here, we'd see that the pad layers are differentiated and that they're sweeping out here smoothly. And the inside branches here are all cleaned out as well, all the ones inside here, so that you can see the depth inside the tree. And now as I turn it here, you'll sort of see the guy wire. I'm not sure if you'll see that. Let me rotate a little bit. You'll see the guy wire stretching here. Eventually this will set, and then you can just remove that, and then you won't see that wire there. For this tree I used copper, because this copper is really nice. You can use sort of smaller wire, and it doesn't show up on the tree as much. You don't see the wire as much on the branches. And then I had a lot of leggy growth out here on the back, so I had to bring that back. I had to sort of push back the growth. And what ends up happening is that you end up with a little less foliage on the outside here, because most of it was out here. But all this right here, now that the sun is hitting it, will start to develop a little bit more, and then these will eventually get a lot of new foliage, and then these pads will fill out. So one of the tricks I like to do is when I'm arranging branches, and you go back to the front here, I always like to bring my branches a little further down than I initially think it should be. And what it does is it lets you at least imagine how it would look. But almost always, when you bring it down more, it definitely gives the appearance of age a lot more than if you maybe let it go a little bit higher. So one thing you might want to do is when you're arranging your branches, bring them down a little bit more so you can kind of see it, and then you can kind of determine whether or not, okay, maybe that's too much, and then you can bring it up. But it's good to just initially see it and then determine whether or not you like it that way. And then as I moved up here to the apex, I tried to thin out as much as I could, because the apex will grow a lot faster, so I thinned out a little bit more, but still tried to keep the layers so you could see the depth, you could see through the tree, and you could see each individual layer as you went up to the apex. Alright, so let's do a little 360 on it. Here's the front. I'm just going to rotate it so you can check it out. Alright, so hopefully you like that video. Hopefully it gives you some ideas, on how to sort of arrange the branches, things to try using guy wire, and then cutting back leggy growth. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, thanks for watching.